So all last winter, I was going to buy an electric ice auger and just never did. I couldn't justify it really around here where I live. I've never seen the ice more than 21 inches thick. I think last year it made it to 15 inches or something like that. So for $500 or whatever they cost, they're all around that price range. I just couldn't justify it. One year I got to go ice fishing 4 times. That's expensive if you divvy it up. But I do have a hand auger. It's a Mora Strike Master. And what I did is I decided if I wanted an electric one, I would go get myself a drill. This is a Menards brand, 1/2 inch. Comes with 2 batteries, a charger, and a bag. 3-year warranty. And this thing produces 600 inch-pounds of torque. And it runs either 450 RPM or 1750. And it weighs almost 3 pounds, which is far lighter than an actual electric auger. This is what it looks like. It's brushless. Comes with a tool clip and a bit clip here. I put the bit clip on to help protect the battery when I'm using it ice fishing. And I put this on so that I can hook my cable to it, so that if this bit breaks or this bolt breaks or that bolt breaks, at least this won't go swimming down in the hole and never be seen again. So how I actually got to this point is I took the hand auger part, and these have 3 holes in them. And there's another section down here that I cut off. And it's about this long. So I never use that hole. I always use the top one. I don't need this hole even, but I left this on for stability inside the bit. So what I did is I took one of these, which is a 1/2 inch impact drive. I ended up grinding the edges off of this to fit the inner diameter of this tube. I got it in there. And in the process of grinding it, the ball fell out and the spring fell out. So it gave me a perfectly centered hole to finish drilling clear through it. So I did that, and it took 3 sharpenings of a drill bit to get through that. My initial idea was to weld the bit to the tube. But I know that these are kind of brittle. They're very hard, but they're a bit brittle. So when you start welding stuff, it starts burning the temper out of stuff, and then you got problems. So I figured I'd just drill it, pin it with a bolt, call it good there. Then I needed to have a way to attach this with the tube and still make it removable in case I just want to use the handle. So I found a bolt that was the right thread. I put a nut also at the head of the bolt so that I can get on it with like an ignition wrench if I have to, in case I can't do the Phillips part here. Then I ran another nut on that bolt and rounded the corners off so that it will fit in the hole where this shoulder sets. This is the original bolt for this handle. The knob isn't, but the bolt is. So you need something to fill that big gap, because the hole on this side is huge. And on this side is your threaded hole. I went and got a nylock nut, put that on there, cut the bolt off, made it smooth, called it good. And then I thought, well, if you're using it, and I've seen this on YouTube many times, the chuck comes loose or somebody forgets to tighten it. They get almost all the way through the hole. They eventually make it. And this bit part just goes sailing off into the water. I don't need that to happen. I don't want it to happen. So I was trying to come up with something that I could put around this portion of it that would stay away from these nuts and bolts here, and that would spin on here and retain it to the driver. So that's what I came up with. It's a 3/16 cable. It's like 4 millimeter or something. I don't know, it was metric something, but it's like 3/16. And I ran it through, around and back through this nut. This is a 5/16 nut. Just squish it a little bit with a hammer or in the vise, and you can shove one strand through and then bring your other strand through. Once I got it on here, I could not squish this nut anymore. I can't get anything around to the other side of it. So I took JB Weld, welded it from the top, let all that sink into the threads and into the strands of the cable. And then I came back out and did that same thing to the other side. So ideally, it's not going anywhere. I could hardly pull it myself just to get it in place. The other end was the same thing, 5/16 nut, loop. I put the clip on this side of the drill. This just slides right off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over so that this will stay on there but still be removable if needed to be. This way, like I said, if one of these two breaks or this bit breaks, this will still be attached to the drill, which will be in your hand. So it's not a lost cause. It won't swim away on you. The drill seems fairly decent. The cable does not spin. I made the cable long enough so that when you put it on the drill, it puts pressure towards the bit itself. So that loop is fairly stiff. So it's constantly pushing the bottom of that cable towards the bit so it will stay away from those bolt heads I was worried about. I think it's going to work. For 120 bucks for the drill, 2 batteries, and already having the auger, I think I got it made. But I'll give it a shot this winter. You'll see it. I'm pretty happy with it. It's simple. Didn't cost much. Time to catch some fish.